Mike, I don't know anything that happened from their point of view. All I'm going to do is hit it from our side. 15 of our 17 players are vaccinated, 88%. That includes every single one of our rotational players. Our guys want to play, and from the beginning, I give a lot of credit to our administrative staff about making sure our guys understood the vaccination and what needed to happen there. And now, going from this point forward about do you play the game or not, we were there to play the game, okay? And but with that said, right now SEC play is way too important for us going forward. Plus we have the #1 net ranking team coming in here in 2 days, but we're not going to risk scheduling a team we know that has many unvaccinated players. I mean, that would be irresponsible on our part. I mean, it could happen again. So we wouldn't do that, whether it would be Memphis or anybody else. I mean, we had people call us after the game, after the cancellation the other day and said, can you play tomorrow? And if we'd have known earlier, we probably would have. But the question we would ask, obviously, where are you with vaccination? But I don't think people call around and ask those questions unless they know they're good there. We burned approximately $30,000 from our budget. But to me, obviously we don't want to do that, but the worst part of that is our fans. And I feel, as bad as I feel for our players, I feel worse for our fans because we had a great turnout with our fan base, and we love going to Nashville, but I hurt for them for the money they spent, that obviously they can get a ticket back, but all the other costs they can't get back. And we have 12 games remaining against top 50 Ken Palm opponents, and that ranking of those opponents equal 56.4%. So with that said, we're focused on Arizona and then getting ready for SEC play. But to answer your question, we know nothing other than what you guys would tell us, or what I guess an article that somebody could write. Well, I think that Tommy's done a really good job, and certainly inherited some players, and he's added some to the mix himself. And the way they're playing really good basketball. The front line is terrific. The blocks they do around there, but I really enjoy watching them. And what I've watched of them, they play hard. They're not going to beat themselves. They mix their defenses. They know what they're looking for on the offensive end, and they have about an 8-man rotation I think they believe in. And of those 8 guys, the rotational players have played well the last couple. The guys coming off the bench have played well the last couple games, and so they're a team that very confident they should be, because what they've done up to this point, there's no reason for them not to be. Yeah, here's what I would tell you about, again, we've got, of our players, the 15 are all there. We have 1 walk-on not vaccinated, 1 scholarship player being redshirted not. And so with that said, we're going to play, because we know in the SEC, you either play or you forfeit. And I can only tell you this: if we would have had 4 guys that were not able to play in that situation, if we've got 7 guys, we would get somebody out of the student body. We had to, because I think it's the right thing to do for fans. I think it's the right thing to do. And people say, well, what about the game itself? I believe enough in the NCAA tournament and the committee that if you're on that list where you're there, they're going to look back. They're going to do their research. They're going to know what went into that game. Just like I said the other day, I have great respect for what Rob Lanier did a couple weeks ago, taking his team to play Rhode Island, a game that he could have easily have canceled, but I think it showed just the kind of leadership that he had, the leadership the school wanted from him, that he took his team up there with 1 starter and 3 rotational players and played a game. And I would tell you, there is no doubt in my mind that that Danny White would expect us to do the right thing. He would expect us to not only think about ourselves, but think about everybody involved and do the right thing. And so with that said, but I can only speak from our point of view. Everybody else has to do what they feel they need to do.
Rick, is there anything comparable that Boyd's doing in Arizona to what Gonzaga is running, given overlap there in the South?
Yeah, I think through the time, Tommy being with Mark, we scrimmaged every year that once they started allowing you to scrimmage other people, every year our two scrimmages were Davison and Gonzaga. We met different places, and so getting to know Tommy, and he certainly had a lot to do with the success at Gonzaga, and as all assistants that you have help you with what you're doing. But he was coaching waiting there, but had this opportunity to come along, and do they do some of the same things? They do, obviously, but he's added his own touch to it too. They're doing some a little bit more pressure stuff, I think, defensively, changing some things up on the defensive end a little bit more than maybe Gonzaga has done in the past. But there's some similarities to the way both teams play.
Karthik, then Ben. Coach, you seem fairly frustrated by the fact that the game didn't happen in the Memphis series. Something you would entertain in the future?
Right now, again, that's over. It's done with me in terms of where we are. I mean, we left there and we're focused on getting ready to play. And again, I said it when I was over there. There was absolutely no way we're going to put that game into our schedule this year. We don't have time for it. We play Wednesday. We come back. We get ready for the SEC. And once we get into the SEC, we're going to worry about that, along with the fact that we have to go to Texas. But the fact is, we were there. We were ready to play. Our guys were ready to play, and the game didn't happen. And so that's, for now, that's, again, I have nothing else to say about it.
Rick, with just one more non-conference game before conference play, do you feel any closer to getting your rotation down with that 7 or 8 man like you mentioned about?
I don't know if we'll ever get it down to 7 or 8 because I think we got too many guys that are too close, and we believe we have a team that we trust our players. We trust their work ethic, and I think they trust each other. And some nights, some guys will maybe have it a little bit more than others. Those guys will play. The next night it might be somebody else. So we'll continue to go into our bench, and we don't have a number like we're trying to get it down to. It's going to be strictly based on reliability and guys doing what we need them to do when they're out there.
Rob?
Coach, you talked in the offseason about Santi being your improved player, but how much do you think Kennedy has helped him and just kind of free him up?
I think that Kennedy has helped Santi. I think Santi has helped Kennedy. I think Zakai has helped both of them, and I think they both have helped Zakai. I think that's probably, there's some a silver lining there with us being able to, and a blessing in disguise, really, that we were able to get Zakai here late, but early enough to get him going. But if you watch Santi with Kennedy, I think it's been really neat because Santi's trying to help him catch up, understand what's going on there quicker. There's no doubt Kennedy being there allows Santi to get off the ball. Santi moves as well without the ball of anybody we've had here in a long time. I mean, he really does a great job there. But I think all three of those guys have really helped each other, and they've set a tone for us, and we've got to continue to build on it.
And Colin has put this stat out there. Santi already has a couple more 2-point field goals this year than he had all of last year. How do you see that? How do you see his game changing?
Well, I think what he did this summer helped him, obviously, but I also think he got himself in elite shape, which I think is, I've said it, I don't think you can be an elite player if you don't get yourself in elite shape. And Santi has done that. And if you watch him every day, I mean, he normally puts in more distance than anybody in practice every day when we check our numbers there. And he never wants to come out during practice. We have to take him out or he's not going to come out. And but he loves to play. But he and his versatility and what he does defensively, and Santi will impact the game whether he makes a 3 or a 2. He'll find a way to impact it, whether it's rebounding the ball, making sure we're executing what we need to execute. He's just one of those guys who's always going to do the right thing.
Mike?
Yeah, Rick, what did you like about, I guess, the way that things happened toward the end of Saturday? The scrimmage, the way your players got to spend some time with fans and all that stuff?
Well, it goes back, Mike, the respect that our players and our athletic department and our university has for our fan base, our alumni base, our fan base. We think there's none like it, and I don't think there's any question when we rolled into Nashville, you felt there was a sea of orange waiting for us, and when we got on the court, when we got there, almost everybody in the building, they were wearing orange, and I wish they would have been able to let the other people in that were waiting to come in. I think that would have been a good thing. But our players, the preparation has been terrific, and they were excited about playing. And then when it doesn't happen, sometimes the best thing to do is what we did, just to let them go out and enjoy the time that they were there. You know, we scrimmaged just a little bit to get it going, but I didn't want them to get back because we weren't obviously playing as hard, as intense as we would even if we were practice. That's why at the end we did a little bit more to make sure we can get it amped, just so we got enough out of the work, because we didn't want to come back here because we knew the women would be here. We didn't want to come back and go upstairs and practice, and we wanted to come back and now that we could and have a chance to see our women play. So, but I think it speaks volumes about our guys, the way they afterwards, they were the ones that wanted to spend some time with our fan base, and we've got a great group of guys that enjoy and appreciate what our fans bring, and anytime they can have a chance to mingle with them, they want to do it.
Ben?
With Victor and Justin, kind of their first shift on the floor, what are some early signs that you're looking for in their game that's going to allow them to receive extended minutes?
You know, again, it's consistency in terms of, and it's not, I think everybody thinks, yeah, we want them all to make shots, but we want them to, what I was kind of talking about, Santi, understanding they can impact the game in a way that they can, even if they're not making shots. We want them to shoot the ball when they're open. We want them to shoot the shots that we practice. And if they're not going in, that's not necessarily going to dictate them coming out of the game if they're doing all the other things that need to be done. But with that said, if somebody's not making shots, it's going to give someone else a chance to come in, because we've got to make some shots, obviously, and we think we've got a team that can shoot the ball well. And some nights, guys just simply, they don't have it. And but what minutes they do have out there, we want them to have it in terms of executing and the reliability we need them to do in all the other facets of the game.
Rick, how much more do you think you'll know about your team after Wednesday night?
Well, even after Wednesday night, I'll tell you, by the time, I mean, we're at December, we got a long way to go, and I think we're going to be a different team a month from now than we are right now. But we've got a terrific opponent coming in here, a team that's going to really test our defense. You know, they're the nation's best two-point field goal defensive team, and but I'm excited. I think that we're going to have a terrific fan base here and a great atmosphere that we're looking forward to, but I think we're going to find out. You find out something every night, obviously, but I don't think we're anywhere where we need to be yet.
Finish up with Tim, then Mike.
How important, Coach, is it to have teams like Arizona in these tough contests before they play together?
Well, I think anytime you can play a national team, I mean, you go back, I mean, Arizona in the last, from the time that Lute Olson got on that campus, they've been one of the best, as good a basketball program as there is in the country year in and year out. And certainly Sean Miller did a terrific job there and building it and keeping it where it was. And oh no. Oh my. Let's hope that's water.
That's what happens when you start paying coaches too much money and ignore infrastructure.
Yeah.
Keep going, 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Are we sure we know who's in the building? You're putting a blue can there. You know? Anyway, you know, we do want a national schedule. We'd like to be able to have something on our schedule where we can play from the East Coast to the West Coast and somewhere in between. And so we were able to put this one together and have a tremendous amount of respect for Tommy. And he's worked hard. He's a grinder. He's been in the business a long time, and we know how he does things. And again, we really we're excited about the fact that they're here, and then we go back out there next year.
Rick, did anything change in terms of the way you started preparing for Arizona earlier, or did you pretty much stick with the same schedule you would have despite Saturday?
No, the other day at the end when we were on the floor practicing, we did start trying to use some of their ball screen coverage. That was it, you know, the way, because they do a little bit different with the ball screen, but other than that, we didn't do much, and today we're back on a regular schedule with it.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.